my sanity to these fucking men. Like, I genuinely feel like crying right now because I just am so tired.
What it is, it's your boy Learn, and we are back. As you make your way into the room, hit that subscribe, hit that hype. Even if you don't like the video, hit that like. Why? Because we family. Alright, y'all, what we here to talk about today. You see what's on the screen. This creator is Adriana61. We're here to review her crash out online and what it's about. And what we're here to talk about is, should men pursue women in today's society? You hear men say all the time, why should we approach women when there are really nasty people at the end of the day when being approached? Some, not all, because you do have the women that say, I would love a man to approach me, right? But how do we as men decipher which ones are those? Choosing signals, so forth and so on. But what about the women that are extremely, and I do mean extremely, tired of men shooting their shot? Not even shooting their shot, looking in their direction. Yes, it's getting that far in today's world, where you can't even look in a girl's direction, where she feels threatened and wants to call the cops and need to be on the phone with a family member because a strange man is checking her out. Yes, the times are getting tough for men that are vetting women to be their wives, because you could knock away your blessing. Now, of course, I believe she's in a relationship, but women that are single that think like this wants to say, how will you find your man? But let's check this out.
On the verge of losing my sanity to these fucking men. Like, I genuinely feel like crying right now because I just am so tired.
Right.
Of not being able to leave the house and not feel safe because I know I'm going to be bothered by men. So I decided to take a walk this morning to enjoy this beautiful day. And the first situation, because there's two.
It's always the men's fault, right?
I'm walking down and I see this man that I seen yesterday that was staring at me as I walked up and down the street. And I immediately am on edge because I see him and I'm like, well, I recognize you. You were already a weirdo. He notices me. He then proceeds to walk like diagonally to the other side, like to the street, the street alongside me. So then he is then behind me. And I already, like, I'm feeling so uncomfortable because you already are weird. And then I keep looking back to make sure that this man is not following me. And he stands and he stays at the corner of this street and just keeps staring at me and watching me as I'm going. And I'm like, I keep looking back, visibly so uncomfortable. And I like finally pick out my phone to try to call my boyfriend so that he can see that like don't try anything, like I'm not gonna be alone, you know. And that's when he finally takes it upon himself to then leave. I'm on the phone with him, my boyfriend, and I'm like, this just happened, like this creepy man from yesterday. And he's upset because he's so tired of me calling him about this stuff because I have to deal with this so often. And then, I'm sorry. So then he's on the phone and he's telling me that I need to now switch my walking route because it's obviously like I shouldn't have the same routine because this could get me into some situations, and I'm already upset about that because that's like my favorite walking route and I have to adjust my day around men. So I'm like, okay, and he's like, make sure that you're walking, like make sure that you change your route to like on the main streets. I'm like, okay. So then I start walking the main streets. So I'm walking the main streets. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder just to make sure that that man's not there, another man's not there, whatever. And as I'm walking down, I'm walking this way, and this man in this car is turning onto the street that I'm about to walk through. And he's staring at me the whole time as he's driving by, and I'm already like, oh shit, like please keep going, don't stop. I get my way across the street. By the time I reach the other curb, this man is in the car. Hey, you. And I just keep walking because I'm like, bro, no, like I can't deal with this right now. And and I keep walking. I look behind me. I don't see him. So I'm like, okay, maybe he got the message. He's leaving me alone. He, in fact, did not get the message because this man proceeded to drive all the way around the block to meet me at the other curb at the end of the block. And as I'm walking, he just pops out of the corner, starts walking to me all like fucking disgusting. And he's like, hey mom, what's your name? And I'm so uncomfortable. Like, I feel so scared because I'm like, bro, like, you went out of your way to drive all the way around the block, park, get out of your car to come approach me when I'm visibly ignoring you. And then I'm like, I ignore him and I keep walking and he's like, hey. And I was like, and then I'm feeling extra scared because I'm like, okay, this man is not taking rejection. Maybe let me be nice. And I'm like, have a good day. And I just keep walking and he's, and he gets back in his car. And that point, I'm just like, this walk is ruined. Like, there's no, like, I need to go back home. And like, I'm just so overwhelmed. Like, I hate that I'm fucking crying this goddamn internet right now, but I'm just so overwhelmed with the amount of disgusting men that could just constantly are interrupting my day. Like, this happens so often and it's genuinely so disgusting, and I just feel like I've reached my limit for this shit. I don't know what else to do. Like, I leave the house and I'm like, okay, like, let's make sure to wear baggy stuff on my walk so I'm not drawing more attention to myself. This shit doesn't work. It doesn't work. They see any fucking human, like any female, and they're just like, I need that. And it's like, I don't know what else I can do and while still living my life and not be bothered. I'm just so sick of this shit. Like, you guys are disgusting.
And yeah, guys, I had to give that clip its full due justice, right? I wanted y'all to hear her fully out, so you can make the decision, right? As you hear her cry about being approached by men. And most men would say, well, he was in the wrong for looking. Well, I believe women will say he was in the wrong for staring, right? It wasn't the fact of looking, a quick glance and go back to what you're doing. It's the long stare to let someone know, hey, I'm interested. But again, some men do not know choosing signals. This is what we here on this channel would like to promote to men, is to understand choosing signals, to stay away from young ladies that do view it like this, because it could turn into a dangerous situation. Right, guys? That's the whole game that we're in when you're talking about women, when you're understanding which ones would like to be approached, which ones would like male attention, the male gaze, and the women that would rather not have that. They would take it from the men that they deem worthy, right? And as she said, she has a boyfriend. So her mindset is, you have no chance anyways. Okay, but this is where we as men have to understand the choosing signals. If you are a single man, if you are vetting women to be your future wife, the vetting is the most important part here. And what this is teaching us is we as a man have to be better at choosing signals, right? It didn't get to a dangerous situation, but you can clearly see as she went to the street, her man said, go to the main streets, right? The man won't bother you there. No, she may be shapely, right? She has a pretty face. She's not an ugly lady. So it depends on the type of clothing she's wearing. And maybe she's just wearing something comfortable. And again, she may be shapely. And that will cause men to at least say, hey, how are you doing today? How's your day going? Right. They're gonna shoot shots if they deem you the type of girl that they believe is pretty, you know? I would like to see where that goes. If I don't shoot my shot, you know what I was saying? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So, Michael Jordan said he didn't know if it was a bad shot because he haven't taken it yet, right? So that's the mentality here. But we as men have to understand we're vetting for the right type of woman. And her boyfriend, you can see he must be over this. This happens way too much. He probably calls every day, and I don't know this young lady's life, but it just seems like you're taking it the wrong way. It's not as extreme as she's making it, right? That's the point that I get when I see the clip. That's why I played the entirety for you guys. And I should stop right now and say, I know you ain't hit that subscribe button, you ain't hit that like button, but for my family, I know it's already done. But again, what do we learn from watching her story, right? It's that men should have a certain type of way they approach women. Be quick, first 5-second method, right? You see her, you like her, walk up, say, hey, shoot your shot. The long staring, the trying to figure out choosing signals. I think in today's world, if you really are single and you just want to shoot your shot, you shoot your shot. You go right to it. You don't give it the hesitation. You get that answer and you get out of there, right? Almost like a salesman mentality. You got to get the sale, right, guys? But I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But I do have some more clips so we can further review other women, right? Other men. See how the internet thinks about chasing women. Yes, her story is a anomaly, is just one of many, but this does shine a light on what men have to deal with. Because what if she called the cops, right? It could have went totally different, a totally different way because of her actions and being extreme in a situation. I think that this is a great lesson right here for women, not just men, because I've stated that men, hey, you don't need to stare that long. Give it 5 seconds. But for women, the ones that are on the internet saying, why don't men shoot their shot at us? Please refer to this video, right? This is what men are afraid of. This video. Videos like the gym girls that crash out, right? Those videos are why men are not approaching. Yeah? So, let's check out some more clips, guys. Check this out.
Your new beginning may look like your ending, and that's okay. Start losing your job, your car gets repossessed, you get broken up with, you try to figure out how you're gonna pay bills. Those times where we start losing things is a time for transformation. All of this stuff starts happening and you're like, God, I said I surrendered it to you. I gave this to you. I gave this relationship to you. Why is me and this person not together anymore? Why is my car gone? Why don't I have a job anymore if I surrendered this to you? If anything, you're supposed to be blessing me with more, not taking away. But God math is different from human math. So we got to remember, when we give things up to the Lord, it is now in possession of the Lord. It was already His to begin with. It's just that we couldn't let go of it. But when we give things back to the Lord, when we surrender these things to the Lord, we got to understand that transformation for God looks like restoration. And nothing can be restored if it's still in your hands. In order for something to be restored, it has to be broken down. It has to be broken. Because this is something that I'm going through right now. But you may be wondering, like, why that relationship didn't work. Like, God, I surrendered it to you. I thought this is what you wanted, Lord. You know, this is what we're thinking. And God's like, you surrendered it to me. So let me rebuild the pieces to that. Your new beginning may look uncomfortable. It's going to look uncomfortable. New beginnings is something that you've never been in. You've never been in it. You just started it. So you got to give yourself some grace and you got to give God some time, okay? You got to give God time to build on what's really going on, to build on your future, to build on your new beginning. A lot of times when we give our lives to the Lord, we don't allow Him to shift us in a new position. We don't allow Him to put us into a new position because we are so uncomfortable. But uncomfortability comes with new beginnings. It just does. How do you think a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? the cocoon phase, that's your uncomfortability phase. Yeah. Oh, and I was watching The Flash because this is the time where Kid Flash Wally, he was in a cocoon, and one of the other characters had said something like, whenever a caterpillar is in its cocoon, it like tears itself down. It tears itself down and builds itself back up. That's the process that you're in right now. Your new beginning starts with you being in the cocoon. It starts with you transforming. It starts with your life transforming, and that's not going to be an easy process, but it's going to be well worth it, because once your wings grow and you are finally able to fly, you will be unstoppable. There's beauty in the transformation. You just have to be still and know and understand that it is going to be okay. You're going to be okay. This is what a new beginning looks like. All that I'm saying is, it is so important to believe in God for this new beginning. It's so important to have faith. Have faith and know that, like, this is not your ending. This is your new beginning. And although you may be sad, although you may be uncomfortable, you're going to be okay. At the end of the day, you're going to be fine. At the end of the day, God works it out at the end.
3 signs that a girl would give you if she wants you to shoot your shot. Not gonna lie to y'all boys, some of y'all be having the ball right there in y'all hands. Literally. Y'all probably be thinking y'all can't get no hoes, but nigga, you ain't trying to get none. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all boys, bro. If you peep any of these signs in this video, especially the last one, then I ain't gonna lie, twin, bro, you been missing out. You could have been shooting 83% from 3, but your ass ain't shooting. Now let's get straight into it though. Now number 1 is if a girl stalks you, twin. And y'all boys gotta realize this. Girls are not dudes. When a dude see somebody attractive, they'll literally walk down and be like, I ain't gonna lie, what's your name? You look good. But girls not doing that, twin. Instead, they'll look at you, and then when you catch them looking, they'll look away, and then they'll go home after they get off the bus and go stalk your Instagram. And I be telling y'all boys, man, you can see when somebody's stalking you. All you gotta do is hit that share button, press Instagram direct, and if her name pops up on that list of people, twin, then she likes you, twin. Now, number 2 is if girls never talk to you. Now, I know what y'all might be thinking, like, bro, what? That don't even make sense. But let me explain. Like, let me tell y'all something. A girl will not make it obvious that she likes you. So just because she's not talking to you does not mean that she doesn't like you. The girl just wants you to make the first move, bro, and girls are not going to do that. So I'm telling you, Brody, if you catch a girl looking at you more than once and she literally does not say anything, man, just shoot your shot, gang. That shit chicken. Now, number 3, and this is probably the most important one, so listen up. But that's if a girl uses the butterfly lingo method. Now look, P-Gang, I'm not gonna call you no dumbass if you don't know what the butterfly lingo method is in the early 2026. It's all good. But just do yourself a favor, go to the comment section, type in the comments, butterfly lingo method.
Yeah, and I put that lady Ari in there just for you, us as family, to understand that new beginnings helps us, right? That's why I used that clip in there. Because as you go through this journey of trying to find and vet to fit your family together, it may seem like a lot of things are going wrong. But in choosing, I believe you need to have God on your side. I just think that was a great clip to throw in there. She said, hey, everything was falling apart, but maybe that's what God was planning for her, right? Then we go to the gentleman that says, hey, you guys are just not noticing that women want you, right? When we saw the first clip, and of course, he's not sending any choosing signals back, right? He's saying, go for the women that are sending the signals back, right? The butterfly effect that he spoke of, right? Where it's just like, I think to sum it up, it's just a whole bunch of gestures, right? Body movement and body language, the same thing that we speak about understanding women so that you can have the best outcome that you seek, right? That's why I threw her clip in there, just for the new beginnings thing she spoke of. For the guys that don't shoot their shot, that's the new beginning. Shoot your shot, right? And that's why I followed it up with him to say, yo, we need to do these things, and maybe you're missing out at a perfect opportunity to build that family. Yeah? But we do have to be careful, because that's what we're here to talk about today. When we say, should men shoot their shot? Yes. I believe the answer to that question is yes, you should. If you're a single man and you're out here trying to build your family, you don't find who you're looking for without attempt, without effort. It's just like business. It's just like anything in life. You have to put effort. Believe in God that he will actually have your back too. That's definitely a good thing to have. But also remember the grand scheme of it. Don't get down on yourself. Don't get to that dark place where the walls are falling down. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. This is why this channel was here, to help men make the right decision, to let them know that there is greener on the other side, right? So yes, men should approach women. Even if you see, like the first clip, again, but get back to the choosing signal. So when you see that first clip, what we should take from that is saying, okay, she has to send back some type of signal before I approach, before I dive in and say, hey, my name is da-da-da-da-da, you know, whatever you want to put there, substitute it for your name. But it doesn't matter if she doesn't give you the signals, because that's just the first step. The first stage of it, as we watch our Pop the Balloon episodes, some women through the door, the 5-second test, will pop their balloon, right? Didn't give him a chance to even speak, to even know what he does and what he aspires to be. So as men, you need to know, and she has to give you back that same attention that you're giving her. You believe she's beautiful, so you give her attention. She should believe you're masculine, and this is the way to go, so she should give you attention back. It has to be a two-way street. And I believe us as men, sometimes we take the one-way streets. We allow the women to just run and do it their way, because she's so beautiful in your eyes that making her mad or upset is a problem. You both have to be up to par in a relationship. You both should feel great about being in that relationship, right? And I believe as men, it gets harder every year, right? And then the younger generation is the generation that we talk of, because back in the day, that's how men did it. You stopped the car, you jumped out. Hey, young lady, some people got married that way. You don't see that in today's world. If you go to a club, you'll probably see people standing on the walls. I don't go to clubs anymore, but people standing against the walls last time I went, and the girls are just dancing with the females because of the culture of not shooting your shot anymore. It's gone away. And men say, I am choosing my peace, right, over anything else. I don't even want to attempt to find the family unit, right? The decreased rate of people having children, because the men that are getting chosen, they are having the most children with multiple women, therefore causing the men that won't shoot their shot, that may be able and capable of starting a family, to not shoot their shot. So I probably said that like, I don't know, 20 times. I'm gonna check with my editor with how many times I said that. But men, you should definitely get out there. That's the whole purpose. Get out there and believe. But got some more clips. Let's check this out.
Listen, Queen, I'm going to tell you how to snatch a man's soul, how to have him begging you for your time, your attention, and your energy in just 4 simple steps. So the first step is to actually genuinely care about the man, right? Men are often the ones who know that they have to care about us and our needs and all of that. But if you show a man that you care about him, if you really make space for his needs and his concerns, that is something that is going to touch him and impact him, because men are generally not prioritized. Their needs are not made the center of attention when it comes to the early dating and relationship phase, right? Happy wife, happy life teaches us all that a woman's needs are more important. So if you show genuine care for the man in your life, that right there is going to stop him in his tracks a bit. The second thing is quiet, listening more than you talk. Because we talk a lot, right? Most women talk a lot. And even if you are a woman who doesn't talk very much, the man in your life that you are dating or building that first early stage of relationship with is used to listening to women talk about their needs, talk about their wants, talk about their goals, talk about all of the things. And so when you are quiet, you create space for the two of you to just be. You create space for intimacy to occur because now you are both feeling your emotions as opposed to avoiding them through conversation. And he then gets to start talking about himself in ways that he never has before. The third step is in building deep intimacy from the very start. So that looks like you giving him your full undivided attention when you are with him so that he recognizes, understands, and feels like he's the most important man in the world and like he's the only man in your world. Even if you have other dating options, you're giving eye contact, you're giving open body communication. You are asking him questions that allow him to talk about himself, and you're holding space for him and for his emotions without judgment. That's what builds trust, builds true connection, and then breeds that deep intimacy that leads to the next step. And that next step is mind-blowing sex. So here's the thing. You have to be a certain type of woman already in order to implement this step, because you have to have self-confidence, you have to be self-empowered, and you have to know that you have the ability to perform. And so when you get into that space with him, you are taking charge and you are taking the lead, which allows him to relinquish the control and allows him to step out of the position of leadership, right? Oftentimes we talk about wanting a man to lead. Yes, and you get to allow him to lead in all the places, but in the bedroom, when it comes to intimacy and sexual contact, one of the most powerful things that you can do as a woman with your man is to take the lead in that place and in that space, is to show him that you are eager to please him and to give your all, like this performance is the last one that you may ever give. Showing him that you care, being quiet enough to create safe spaces for him, building the connection and the intimacy, and then prioritizing physical, sexual pleasure. That is how you have him coming back for more and more and more, and how you position yourself to be the apple of. Listen, Queen.
There you hear her say, to start it off, what should you do? You should be quiet. You know, that's not going to go over well with most women. She's telling them to hush. Yeah, right? I mean, I believe I've met a lot of women and they do like to express themselves a lot. There are some that are reserved, but most will not think about letting the man express himself, as the man has been taught not to express himself, right? You hear that all the time. Masculinity is more so about being quiet in most situations, having power behind the words that you say when you say them. Stoic, being stoic at every position of life, right? But you do hear her say, if you appreciate that man, you know, it's not about buying gifts and all that, just looking out for him, right? Because most of the time, throughout their dating careers for most men, women don't just look out for them. They look out for the women. It's always been that way. So when you hear her say, if you really want that man, you would do X, Y, and Z, right? You would put forth such an extra effort to make sure you got that man. Once, you know, if you're truly trying to have a husband, as I'm trying to teach men and talk to women, and we're here to learn, to make the family unit work, these are the steps. It's a back and forth tennis match of caring about that person, but understanding that that person should care about you. Now, there are a lot of sacrifices that come on this road, a lot. And they tend to not to speak about those arguments where you choosing to be the bigger person has to come up. If some men, if they were raised a certain way, you have men that were raised just by all women, so the only form of communication they have to talk to women when they get into an argument is argument. You will argue like a woman, once you were raised by one. You don't have too many male masculine people in your life to show you, hey, that's not the way we should move as men, right? And that's the problem, because I had my father in my life, right? and a lot of men that can say that they hadn't. That's what we're here to learn. We're here to learn that I should be quiet more and listen to her if she is being closed off. That's if she doesn't communicate fast, because sometimes women are long-winded, so you have to let them finish their point. And some men like to say, but that's not right, that's wrong, and why would I even listen to that if it's wrong? Because women are emotional, and they want to be heard just as you want to be heard. So going through your dating career as you have met women that would allow you to talk, but then something else was wrong. Then you've met women that would not allow you to talk, and that still failed. So you have to find that equal median. It's such a thing we must learn. But guys, I have been your host. That has been your content. I want to start a conversation down below, right? I want to get down there. I want to know how you guys feel. Talk to me. We family. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit that like already, like the video. Come on. Yeah, y'all, it's been your boy Learn, and it's always a great time with y'all. But men, I'm gonna say it one more time before I get out of here. Shoot your shot. We are gone.